See what my man Ty thoughts on Elon taking over Treasury. Do you think it will affect the Fed? Yes. Um, how it's going to affect the Fed is they're shutting down organizations, right? Big federal organizations. So he shut down what was the U.S. aid? I mean, I think they locked everybody out, right? So I think they're going to sue. I think a lot of people forget a lot of the federal jobs are a union, but no, yeah, it's going to affect the Fed um, because, well, I mean, you talking about Fed. I think you talking about specifically the Federal Reserve. Fed, from a federal perspective, Project 2025, the Republican Party for smaller government. So they're definitely going to try to shut down some very large government agencies from that. If you mean Fed, specifically the Federal Reserve, I think it's going to affect that because I think they're going to try to just make it smaller. And President Trump is not happy with the Fed because Powell's not moving the interest rates the way he wants. So I think he's going to, Federal Reserve, he's going to, I don't want to say attack the Federal Reserve, but I think him and Elon is going to give it some attention. So let's just say that. Nana Pogo, let's see what they said. That's a data privacy breach right there. I don't think it's a data privacy breach now. And I know where you're going with that is Elon has been tasked by the president of the United States to do that. Right. And I don't believe it was perfectly done. Those guys got security clearance. Now we could talk about if they were done properly. We could talk about if they should have got them or not. That's a different story. But believe me, those guys have passed the security clearance. They've been moved to the front of the line, and everybody that's in there was approved to be in there. Now we can back up and says, is that right? Should they been cleared? He's not a United States citizen. We can have that discussion, right? But far as a data breach, I wouldn't call it a data breach once again because those guys have been cleared to be able to look at that data. Now we can have discussion to see if they should have. So what makes 1975 Privacy Act? And I'll let the white chime in too. And I dropped the link if anybody wants to come up. Once again, we can talk about should they not have it. Those guys have been cleared to look at that. I promise you, Elon's been cleared. I promise you, he's been cleared. What they did, Ty, and you know how this works is you can I was cleared to work on DOD before I was cleared, meaning they did an initial clearance on me. I didn't have any federal charges. I wasn't a bad guy. Facts. But we let H1Bs in there all the time, Ty. We let H1Bs in there all the time. As long as you pass your security clearance. And I promise you, they got him cleared. Now we could talk about if it was proper. I bet you they got some kind of clearance on him. Facts. The sad part is I think they're taking over the world. I believe that with a love. But we could do so. I'm not disagreeing with you, Ty. Oh yeah, we can do foreign nationals. We got all kind of foreign nationals in our system. We got H1Bs in there. We got H1Bs at DOD. But you know how this. Well, now. So the question is, do I think Elon was cleared? I do. Now, do I think he was cleared properly? That's a whole different conversation. Do I think those guys got to the front of the line? I do. Do I think they ran Elon's background? I do. Yep, interim clearance right there. Oh yeah, now that's the discussion right there, Ty. That's definitely the discussion. That's definitely discussion, right? But we know how this works, man. When people want you to have stuff, you're gonna have it. Now we can talk about the being proper, that we do the proper background, especially for the level of data that we're looking at. they were looking at. But for me, Treasury is moderate, right? We talking about Social Security numbers and payments. We're not talking nuclear codes. We're not talking about troop movements, right? So the level of classification of that data, I think, is moderate. It took me 6 months to get a DOD. So yeah, facts, right? So, but right, that's a different level. TS, CS, right? You talking about uh is that a lie detector? I think TS is lie detector, right? So I don't think I could see those links. I don't think it lets you put links in here. No, I don't think it's the richer. Oh, facts, facts. If you do $200 million, I don't think it's gonna let me. It's not gonna let you put links in there. A little bigger, go to 150. So you see it right there. Musk and DOGE full access to sensitive treasury could be a data breach. The U.S. Senator has questioned given a representative Elon Musk and the Department of. Yeah, facts. That's the argument, right? But like they said, it says it's could be. I don't think it will be, but that's definitely a good thing. According to two unnamed sources close to a matter, the Musk and DOGE have gained access and contains Medicare, customer private. DOGE is a temporary organization, 100%. Works with the U.S. government, is responsible for finding ways to save money, culling departments, systems, and red tape. Senator questions the Treasury Department after it was reported that a person connected to Musk sought access to Treasury, which is maintained by non-political staff, dispersed trillions of dollars, such as, 100%. In the latter, stress importance of payments. To be bluntly, these payment systems cannot fail, and any political motivation meddling. I'm deeply concerned. Yep, they're deeply concerned. I'm cool with that. Must claim the Treasury office is responsible for improving payments, never deny payments, and even approve payments for fraudsters and terrorists. Okay, that's valid. Let's see. So, according to the Democratic, Musk could use the access to sway industry. Oh, 100%. That's always an unelected, accountable billionaire, deep ties to China. Once again, it says could be a breach, that's 100%. But once again, is the president wanted Elon Musk to have? I'm 99% positive they gave him a security background and they cleared him. Now the discussion is, should they have cleared him? Right? We can have that discussion, but they have the necessary clearance to do that work. Now we can go back and argue if they should have cleared it. Once again, he's a foreign national. Obviously, he invested in political campaigns. But if people look back into all the political organizations, there's always been hedge funds, BlackRock guys been in there. 4 or 5 of those big hedge funds always have, a representative in all the campaigns. So I think it's a little more obviously, once again, because Elon is kind of a foreign national, but we give H-1B visas access to all kind of things. And let's be realistic. This is moderate data. This is not life or death. Once again, it's not the nuclear subs. It's not the code. It's not the location of troops. But once again, I'm not totally disagreeing with you. I'm just kind of giving you my perspective on it, right? Now, once again, I think your concerns are valid. I just think they gave him a clearance. Now we can, once again, the argument is the clearance valid? Let's see what Larry said. Oh, at the end of the day, Elon and his teams have facts and facts. 100%. That's what I'm saying. Facts now. Like facts. And that's gonna get you cleared every time, right? So then the other party's gonna argue, blah, 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 this and blah, 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 that. But no, facts. And I think me and Larry agreeing on this one. That's all they need. Now, once again, we can talk about, is it proper? Let's see what my man Ty said. That would be a conflict of interest considering. Yeah, but I think you could definitely use the data. The problem with that argument, Ty, is, and that's a great argument, is He's already the richest man on the planet, right? So, and we already give him a gazillion dollars for because we kind of got rid of NASA. So he's putting satellites up in there and he's doing all that. I mean, people, the Koch brothers always been in there. George Soros on the other parties kind of been in there. So there's been different oligarchs that I don't like and been in politics on both sides. George Soros has been doing all kind of stuff on the Democratic side, the Koch brothers, but I think with the Project 2025 and I think it's the Harris Foundation, I think taking that to the next level. But those guys has always been putting what they believe the world order should be, right? I don't want to call it the cabal, right? But those guys, George Soros, the Koch brothers, the Harris Foundation, they have a vision of what they want that to look like in capitalism. And they put their money where their mouth is from both sides. So that's kind of my 2 cents on it. Once again, I drop the link if anybody wants to come up. Let's see what my man Larry said. Dropping insider information in there. That's what Larry said. I work for the General Service Administration. They shut down the entire division. Oh, wow. This week, access to workstation gone in the blink of an eye. So that's crazy right there, man. And I used to work on the security side. When you leave on Friday, you come back Monday, we take all your access away, right? ASAP. So that's the crazy part, that they're shutting down. All facts, Ty, but that's not gonna happen, man. I agree with you 100%. The problem is you can't get elected without money, right? So that's the sad part about it. We need to definitely revamp that, but I think that cat's out the bag. But we need to do something. Agency of pressure employees to quit. I mean, yeah, I've seen that. Didn't they send out where you got 8, 9, or 10 months severance, but you had to make a decision within 5 days, Larry? I saw that. That is crazy, man. The crazy thing is, I think they're gonna use a lot of good people, because if I got 20 years, I'm out. And if I only wanted 10 and I got 10, I would just be out, Larry. I take my partial, my full retirement, take my buyout, get that extra 7 months, and I can always come back later on, right? My time doesn't disappear, right? So if I had 10, I could go work private and just come back, and you know, that's the sad part about it. I ain't touching that R square. She said I'd rather have Elon than Soros. So yeah, with those oligarchs been all kind of been in the mix. So good luck with that, man. Hopefully they ain't put too much pressure on you, man. Um, um, I would ride it out, man. You gotta make the best decision for you. I think you have skills. You get 10 months. You can always, get back in there. But no, I feel you though. I feel you. To be honest, I thought it would take them a minute to wind down an agency, but they cut those agencies. Because usually when we wind down a project, it took forever. So I'm a little bit surprised by the speed of that winding down. Do you have anything on your GRC? No, I'm still working on it now. I'm working with Simon Coop. Now let's see if you can post that link now. I kind of gave you I made you a moderator. I think maybe to post. And let's see. Of course, shout out. Yeah, no, that's crazy. Those are data to how our currency is made, which could be used by adversaries like China. Oh, facts. I'm not disagreeing with any of that. I'm not disagreeing with that. But if the background check says you're good, you're good. Now we can talk about 53 revision 5 to be exact, the R5. I need to do that. I went to the gym this morning. It didn't go well. Shout out to me. But yeah, once again, system could be a data. I don't think it's a data breach. In a traditional sound, now we could talk about we call it leakage, meaning those guys are looking at systems they didn't have correct access, right? So a data breach means an adversary or a bad guy got into the data, right? Data leakage means somebody who was not a someone who's not appropriate to look at the data, right? But from a government side, the president gave them access. Now we can talk about do they have the authority to look at it, right? From a data leakage standpoint. So I would probably call it leakage, right? Because it's in the proper system. That system um, controls are working, right? So I don't think they exfiltrated the data and took it off site, right? So data leakage, should those people um, have been cleared to look at the data, all right? So once again, they're not hackers. They're not. I wouldn't consider a bad guy, right? So now we're talking about least privilege or the proper way to look at data, right? So I think that would make it more of a leakage than a data breach. I appreciate that. Yeah. So yeah, Dr. Ozier has a GRC Academy, so he's been gracious to let me partner with him, and that's going to be the first my first class I'm gonna put out. Once again, I'm probably 60% done, so I'm doing FedRAMP, which is NIST 800-53 in the cloud. Um, FedRAMP means the government approved you to run your software, aka AWS, Azure, and Google. There was a government organization called JAB, Joint Account Board, that reviews cloud software, steps it so you don't have to do a security assessment. They already done it. Then you, as a government agency, can use these cloud vendors because they already been approved from FedRAMP. I appreciate that, now. I appreciate that. And set up for my class. We're gonna dig in more data leakage and data breaches, right? So that's the nuance inside this, right? What's the difference between leakage and a breach, right? So, and like I said, I don't think it's a breach. Now we can talk about leakage, right? So, least privilege, should they have been given a privilege to actually look to be able to look at it, right? Shout out to GMR. What's up? Just finishing up a little bit. Cloud in the government. Yeah, all the